Hey friends, and welcome back to A Simple Truth. We're continuing through Numbers, today 11 through 13. And things are going to start to get interesting, as if they haven't been interesting already. But now that the Israelites have left Sinai, we're going to see a couple different things. We're going to see them moving into different lands. We're going to see a lot of stress. Particularly, we're going to see a lot of stress in these chapters. And we're going to see doubt. A whole lot of doubt, and that is from Moses, from Aaron, from the people, just all over the place, a whole lot of doubt. So we'll take a look at that and see maybe how that's applicable today as well. So again, this is going to be chapters 11 through 13. So starting off at 11. Now when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, for the Lord heard it, and his anger was aroused. So the fire of the Lord burned among them, and consumed some in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and when Moses prayed to the Lord, the fire was quenched. So he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord had burned among them. Now the mixed multitude who were among them yielded to intense craving. So the children of Israel also wept again, and said, "Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish when we ate freely in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our whole being is dried up. There is nothing at all except this manna before our eyes." Now manna was like coriander seed, and its color was like the color of bedlam. The people went out and gathered it, ground it into millstones, or beat it in the mortar, cooked it in pans, and made cakes of it. Its taste was like the taste of pastry prepared with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp in the night, the manna fell on it. Then Moses heard people weeping throughout their families, everyone at the door of his tent, and the anger of the Lord was greatly aroused. So Moses also was displeased. So Moses asked the Lord, "Why have you afflicted your servant? And why have I not found favor in your sight, that you have laid the burden of all these people on me? Did I conceive all these people? Did I beget them, that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom as a guardian carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to their fathers? Where am I to get the meat to give all these people? For they weep all over me, saying, 'Give us meat that we may eat.' I'm not able to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. If you treat me like this, please kill me here and now, if I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see my wretchedness." So the Lord said to Moses, "Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of people and officers over them. Bring them to the tabernacle of meeting, that they may stand there and speak with you. Then I will come down and talk with you there. I will take the spirit that is upon you and will put the same on them, and that they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you may not bear it yourself alone. Then you shall say to the people, 'Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow you shall eat meat.' For you shall have wept in the hearing of the Lord, saying, 'Who will give us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt.' Therefore the Lord shall give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall eat not 1 day, not 2 days, not 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have despised the Lord who is coming among you, and have wept before him, saying, 'Why did we ever come up out of Egypt?' And Moses said, Are the people whom I am among are 600,000 men on foot. Yet you have said, I will give them meat, that they shall eat for a whole month. Shall flocks and herds be slaughtered for them to provide enough for them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered up for them to provide enough for them?" And the Lord said to Moses, Has the Lord's arm been shortened? Now you shall see whether or not I will say what will happen." So Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and he gathered 70 men of the elders of the people and placed them around the tabernacle. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to them, and took of the spirit that was upon them, and placed the same spirit upon the 70 elders. And it happened, when the spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied, although they never did so again. But 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them. Now they were young, and they were among those listed, but who had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and told Moses and said, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." So Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant, one of his choice men, answered and said, Moses, my lord, forbid them. Then Moses said to him, Are you zealous for my sake? Oh, that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them. And Moses returned to the camp, he and the elders of Israel. Now a wind went out from the Lord, and it brought quail from the sea, and left them fluttering near the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people stayed up all that day, all night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. He who gathered at least gathered 10 omers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. But while the meat was still in between their teeth, before it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was aroused against the people, and the Lord struck the people with a very great plague. So he called the name of the place Kibboth Havata, because they were buried among the people who had yielded to craving. From Kibroth Havata, the people moved to Hazeroth and camped at Hazeroth. Chapter 12. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman who he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. So they said, Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? And the Lord heard of it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than all the other men who were on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron and Miriam, come out, you 3, to the tabernacle of meeting. So the 3 came out, and the Lord came down in the pillar of cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both went forward, and he said, Now hear my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. I speak with him face to face, even plainly, and not in dark sayings, and he sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the anger of the Lord was aroused against them, and he departed. And when the cloud departed from above the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. Then Aaron turned towards Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, Oh, my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when she comes out of his mother's womb. So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, Please heal her, O God, I pray. Then the Lord said to Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of this camp 7 days, and afterward she may be received again. So Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not journey till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward the people moved from Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. Chapter 13. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a leader among them. So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the command of the Lord, all of the men who were the heads of the children of Israel. Now these were the names from the tribe of Reuben: Shemua, the son of Zechur, from the tribe of Simeon; Shaphat, the son of Hori, from the tribe of Judah; Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, from the tribe of Issachar; Igal, the son of Joseph, from the tribe of Ephraim; Hoshea, the son of Nun, from the tribe of Benjamin; Palti, the son of Raphu, from the tribe of Zebulun; Gadiel, the son of Sodi, from the tribe of Joseph, that is, from the tribe of Manasseh; Gadi, the son of Susi, from the tribe of Dan; Amiel, the son of Gamali, from the tribe of Asher; Sethur, the son of Michael, from the tribe of Naphtali; Gabi, and the son of Vosi, from the tribe of Gad; Guel, the son of Machchi. These are the names of the men whom Moses sent out to spy the land. And Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Then Moses sent them to spy in the land of Canaan, and he said to them, Go up this way into the south, and go up to the mountains, and see what the land is like, whether the people who dwell in it are strong or weak, few or many, whether the land they dwell in is good or bad, whether its cities they inhabit are like camps or strongholds, whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are forests or there are not. Be of good courage, and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of the first ripe grapes. So they went and spied out the land of the wilderness of Zin, as far as Rebob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron, Ahmine, Shishai, and Talmai. The descendants of Anak were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. Then they came out of the valley of Eshcol, and they cut down a branch with one cluster of grapes. They carried it between them on a pole. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol, because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down there. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran. At Kadesh, they brought back word to them and all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. When they told him and said, "We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit." Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea along the banks of the Jordan. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are all well able to overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go against this people, for they are stronger than we." And the children of Israel gave a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants. And all the people whom we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw giants, the descendants of Anak came from giants, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight. And so we were in their sight." A lot of doubt in these chapters, and I can't help but see it on so many different sides, and probably because I struggle with that all the time on my own. But even just in these chapters, I had to write it all down, but I think really what it came down to is doubt that God will provide, doubt that God would keep his people safe, and really, truly, and maybe bigger, doubting that God is enough. Again, I think I fall into one of those camps much more often than I would like to admit, and I know there are other believers out there as well. And that's been one of my biggest contentions and frustrations, is when looking at apologetics and when looking at people who read the Bible critically, who don't read the Bible but still have a lot to say about it. I think it can really be summed up, especially when God said here, is my arm too small? Can I not do something? And I would very much recognize that it's probably a limitation of my perception of God, infinitely more so than it would ever be a limitation on God himself. It's a lack of my understanding, not in any way a lack of God's. And that's something that people have been fighting for, well, ever since biblical times, and maybe even since the beginning. So I just thought it was interesting. So yeah, just word of encouragement. Don't doubt. The God of the Bible is big enough. He is a good enough provider. He is enough to keep you safe. Doesn't mean he won't let you experience hardship sometimes, but there is peace and there is safety within him. So anyway, as always, thanks so much for joining. Have a great rest of your day.